channel. Today we're going to talk about vaginal health. As you noticed in the title, I am going to discuss with you how to cure vaginal itching or a yeast infection at home. So if you're new to my channel, I am Jamecia Capri, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire, and welcome. So the first thing I want to discuss with you is how we can avoid getting that vaginal itching and avoid getting a yeast infection. If at all possible, it's avoidable. So I know that most of my patients who come in and talk to me about either vaginal itching or vaginal odor or just abnormal discharge, they are people who, not always, but for the most part, they wear tight clothing, which is a no-no. They wear a lot of G-string underwear, which is another no-no. So this is the things that they can do to avoid getting a yeast infection. They use a lot of fragrant soaps down there, Bath and Body Works. They clean with that, and that's a no-no because what that does, that messes up the pH in your vagina. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep that very stable. About 4.0 to 4.5 is normal for the vaginal pH. So you want to keep it there. And once you introduce anything into that space that's a higher pH, you mess up the balance, and then now you've got a yeast infection. So really anything can mess you up, so avoid that. Also, you want to avoid semen. I know that's kind of hard. I probably should have led with that, but if you have, if you're married and you have sexual intercourse and you notice that after the sexual intercourse, well, not if you're just married, but anyway, you have a partner and you notice that you're getting a lot of yeast infections after you've had sex with your partner, then it could be that you are either allergic to the semen, or the semen is causing your vaginal pH to drop too low. So I would avoid getting any semen in my vaginal area if this is causing you to have yeast infections. If that's not possible, I'll discuss how to treat that or to avoid it in my next kind of segment here. But first I want to talk about how to avoid getting it altogether. You can drink a lot of water, drink a lot of fluids, and also avoid putting anything foreign, any foreign objects in your vagina. I know you guys are probably thinking, really? No, yeah, really, because oftentimes there will be some bacteria on something that you didn't know about, and you continue to do that back and forth, or you had a little bit of yeast infection before and then you reinserted something and you reinfected yourself. So those things you want to do to avoid getting vaginal itching or a vaginal yeast. And so now if you end up getting it, which oftentimes women do, just because we're women, because the way our bodies are made, because the way we are made. It's not because you're nasty or anything like that. No, it's just how it is. Our vaginas are close to our rectum, and the E. coli is there. It's always there, and we just get yeast infections. So if you find that you are getting a yeast infection, look, I was all excited. Not a happy thing to have because you be itching, but anyway, if you find that you do have a yeast infection and you want a home remedy to get rid of it, you can try this for 3 days. This can work. I tell this to my patients all the time, especially my young ladies who come in for reoccurrent yeast infections. They come in, and I'm giving them diflucan. I'm telling them to get something over the counter. And they just keep coming back in. This is what I tell them to do, and it kind of keeps them out of the clinic for 6 months or so out of the year. But what you can do, you can, if you know you're prone to yeast infections, or if you get a new one or whatever, you can drink pure cranberry juice. Drinking pure cranberry juice, not the mix like cran apple, cran grape, cran raspberry, whatever. No, just straight cranberry. It would be better if it was 100% cranberry. What that does is that keeps the bacteria from setting up in your vagina area. It keeps you at an acidic level, and it keeps you kind of healthy down there. The bacteria has a hard time connecting to the vaginal walls when you do that. So flush with cranberry juice. When I say flush, I mean like the whole thing should be gone in like a day, if you're trying to treat it at home. So you don't want to drink it all in one setting because you'll get nauseous, then you'll get sick. But throughout the day, if you know in the morning you wake up, you drink your water, you know that you know your body, most women do, and you know you have a yeast infection, drink that cranberry juice. Take some acidophilus or a probiotic. The acidophilus you need to get from the store. It's the kind with the live cultures on there. You should have at least 2 million to 4 million live cultures on your lactobacillus or your acidophilus. This should be done over the counter. Not that expensive. Something you can get over the counter, and it's natural. That's really what lives in our vagina. That's our healthy bacteria that keeps us from getting an infection all the time. Okay, so you can get that. Also, you can increase your vitamin C intake. That also helps. You can do 500 milligrams, a day, or even more if you can stand it. Now, if you go too high on the vitamin C, you can begin to get like prickles on your skin. You might break out like with a little rash or something like that. So if you find you're doing that, you need to pull back and just flush with water. Also, yogurt. Eat yogurt, plain yogurt, not Yoplait, not anything with any type of flavor, but you can eat plain, organic, regular, plain, not vanilla, just plain yogurt, and that will help you as well. That's getting your GI balance together and your vaginal balance together. So you can do that, and you want to try to do this for 2 to 3 days. If you don't have any relief after that, after everything I tell you in this video, after 3 days, then come see me, come see your provider. Make sure you do that. But if you can handle it at home, why keep going to see your provider for something that you can handle at home? Okay, so also you want to avoid sugar. If you can avoid eating too much sugar during the time you feel like you have a yeast infection, then do that, because yeast loves sugar, feeds off of sugar. And also that leads me to the next thing. Yeast. Stop eating yeast. If you have a yeast, stop ingesting it. That's in your breads. Anything that has yeast, stop ingesting it, because that will help you with getting rid of that yeast infection. I know that sounds crazy, but it is true. Lastly, when you're having this issue and you're trying all these things I'm telling you, avoid sex. Because if you're passing it back and forth to your partner, then you're not going to get rid of it. You're just going to pass it back and forth. And also, if you're treating yourself, treat your partner too. Just give them the same thing you're eating, or the same thing that you're going to try that I tell you for that. And so that's pretty much it. And I hope those tips help you. Leave comments down below just to let me know if it did work for you. Oh, one more thing I wanted to tell you before I go. The semen thing. If you find that, your partner's like, no, I'm not going to do it without whatever. Get some water-based lubricant, KY or whatever. Insert that in the vagina before and after sex. That will help your pH come down afterwards. And make sure that you, right after sex, directly, don't fall asleep, that you get up, you use the bathroom, you empty your bladder, and you take care of your vaginal health. Okay, I think that's all that I need to share with you today. Thank you for stopping by. Please hit that like button and subscribe and all that good stuff, because it helps me and my channel, and it helps me make more content. Thanks for stopping by. Take care, guys.